Well, hey everybody, I'm Joe Pro, and today we're talking Zelda, The Legend of. It's a series. I haven't actually figured out what to talk about. Let's see here, we could always analyze Girham's extensive theatrical background. He was in Romeo and Juliet, right? Yeah, I think so. I'm also down to debate the obvious ethical issues that are brought to light during Link's time in Termina when he takes and wears dead people's masks without asking and impersonates them. Or are they possessing him? The point is, a nice formally drafted will would really clear those issues up. 64th Amendment rights should protect Deku's too. As you can see, I'm still stuck in power-up mode since my last feature, so I haven't been able to work on a new video, as I don't exactly have, a face. Guess it's the side effect of the fire flower. At least I can still talk, but I'm not sure how.
BAM! Magic!
That was weird. But hey, an old man in a cave told me if I recite this charm, it should return me to normal. Bokoblin, Moblin, Choo-Choo, and Keese, a flock of cuckoos OGs, but a damage received will make a Lego relieved, so winning's not always the ultimate key. Unfortunately, he's a lying son of a Beamos, and it doesn't work, so I demonstrated my fire powers on him. They're convenient. Guys, chill out, it's not like he was gonna be around much longer, he was 90-something, I hope. So while I find a way to get my face back, enjoy this video about Zelda Minigames, or something. Mario Party minigames have always been, for the most part, pretty great. They're also friendship ending, and so that's nice.
I wish I had friends.
Even the recent poorly made Mario Party games at least showcase some fun and addictive minigames. Point is, Mario and company have all the good times. Where's Zelda Party? It'd be like Mario Party, but without Mario, and hopefully without Daisy. Well,
it does not exist.
But Zelda minigames kinda do. With few exceptions, they're pretty forgettable, but some are really a lot of fun. Today, I'm ranking my top 10. One thing to note is that only single-player games will be included, so as much as I love them, I've decided not to include the DS games' battle modes, since their level of depth and awesomeness would have given them such an unfair advantage against all the other cheesy, poor-controlling single-player games. Finally, I'm handing out one honorable mention. A lot of people really enjoy the various fishing minigames in Zelda, but I hate fishing in real life as I'm usually the bait itself, and I'm not a huge fan of it in Zelda either. With that said, it is kind of fun to mess around with, and I admire the depth they instilled into it in Twilight Princess. Fishing, you have been mentioned.
Hey, we like fishing.
Yeah, go away!
Oh, this hurts!
I was going to give a second honorable mention to the treasure chest minigame from Majora's Mask, but I gotta admit I'm extremely creeped out by the lady manager's words and actions. It was one thing for her to tease me with her special prize and make those creepy groans, but I especially don't approve of her choice of words when I said, no thanks. Lady, you do realize Link is 9 years old, right? Now that everything's out of the way, let's get this ranking started. Are you good at running? I'm not. Sorry, I was thinking about ice cream. Do you like to run? If your answer is yes, my 10th favorite minigame is A Link Between Worlds Hyrule Hotfoot. If your answer is no, my 10th favorite minigame is A Link Between Worlds Hyrule Hotfoot. It's a real challenge, it's fast-paced, and it's pretty dang fun. It's also extremely frustrating to constantly hit walls and run out of time just before reaching the goal. Most of all though, it has great music, and it's just one of the minigames that I really enjoyed from A Link Between Worlds. If it could save time trial ghosts and allow you to race friends, it'd probably be ranked even higher on this list. Sinking ships from the Wind Waker takes my number 9 spot. This minigame is run by the charming Salvatore and features pretty basic gameplay clearly inspired by the board game Battleship. The player selects and shoots squares in an attempt to destroy all of the hidden targets and win the game. This minigame is internally divisive for me. Going against it is its core gameplay. It boils down to a bunch of RNG and luck, and it's quite boring, especially if you have to replay it again and again. But the reason it still hits number 9 is because of its wonderful depiction and the delightful host Salvatore. I mean, Admiral Davalsky. Sorry, sir. I really love his constant exclaiming of and naturally his over-the-top presentation of the game. Finally, if there's still reason to doubt it being in my top 10, the ending. Just watch the ending.
Hooray! Yay!
I'm glad we're on the same page now because that was fantastic. In 8th place is a Breath of the Wild minigame, the Ridgeland Tower, specifically gliding from the top of the Ridgeland Tower and seeing just how far you can go. I really appreciate the numerous ways you can go about getting a super long glide, like using fire arrows to spur an updraft, or just getting good. It's also quite beautiful and relaxing, and I don't know about you, but I like both of those adjectives. Though I am growing suspicious about its profiteer, Bronley. First, why does Link have to pay him to jump off the tower? This is public Hyrulean property, my friend. Second, he sure does seem excited to successfully con Link into committing accidental suicide. And finally, I went way less than 34.4 meters here, and I'm not really into people lying to me just to improve my self-confidence. Okay, now that's a lie. That's definitely a lie. Now thank you for your honesty. Everyone else is lying, and at least you're being honest with me. I appreciate it. You are clearly my #1 fan. Thank you. Skyward Sword is a wonderful Zelda game, but plays host to some pretty mediocre minigames in my opinion. The only minigame in my top 10 is Dodos High Dive. This minigame is truly a pain to unlock, but playing it once available is a good time. The goal here is to skydive through various rings, and then land on the blue and pink spot on the spinning board below to win a heart container. The motion controls work well enough, and unlocking the heart piece is a serious challenge. Dodo is also a sympathetic character, and if anything, it's good to give the guy some sales. Remember kids, support your local small businesses. I've heard plenty of frustrated voices in the past regarding my number 6 selection, but since when are any of my rankings typical or similar to the norm? A Link Between Worlds Octoball Derby, in my opinion, is fantastic. I happen to think it controls very well, it looks great with the 3D slider on, and it's just fun. It's a decent challenge to attain the heart piece, but it's really not too tough. It also gives us a chance to not only watch Link play baseball, but provides us with one of the rare moments the game presents Link in 3D rather than the normal top-down 2.5D perspective. I really love this minigame. I wish it was perhaps a little bit more exciting and replayable, but it's still one of the best and most charming minigames in the entire series. In my number 5 spot is the Twilight Princess minigame Flight by Fowl. As it turns out, there aren't many forms of transportation for Link to use when he travels to and from Lake Hylia, but of the limited options, warping, jumping to your death, or flight by fowl, I'd have to say that last one is the best. Besides, who wouldn't love transit by minigame? This game is simple. You throw this lad all your hard-earned rupees, pick your favorite colored demon bird, white, brown, or black, and then glide down to the lake below. On the way, you can pick up more rupees and attempt a successful landing on this spinning platform to earn a heart container. It's not overly difficult, and it's a lot of fun. It also doesn't hurt that it's such a genuinely well-run establishment. Wait a second, what's wrong with this chest? It's already open. What a scam, I demand a refund. What? I have to pay even more money to get back up there? Absolutely not. Oh my dude, I hope you enjoy taking fishing poles up your... Another awesome minigame from Twilight Princess is the Sled Race against the Yeti couple. The first time down the slope, you race Yeto, the sweet, caring husband. He's not too fast, but the course itself, especially the shortcuts, are sorta tricky. I really enjoy the sense of speed and the beautiful scrolling visuals as Link expedites himself across an entire region. Upon beating Yeto, we get to race his insane lunatic of a wife, Yetta. Come on, Nintendo, I expect more creative names next time. Even something like Kevin and Laura would be better than Yeto and Yetta, but not by much. Anyway, Yetta's definitely a challenge, but she's doable. I've always held this portion of the game as the very best, and I also believe this minigame to be one of the utmost quality. Well, besides when it traps you on the bridge for several minutes. That's not fun. All in all, it's beautiful, exhilarating, and fair. Oh, and I don't mean to brag, but just look at how close my finish against Yetta was. C-L-O-O-C-S? Guys, I'm only a Lego, so what do I know about spelling? Oh, gosh, go away! Who doesn't enjoy work? Okay, but admit that deep down you love work, but can't admit it because it's socially unacceptable to admit. Okay, but at least admit that if it were socially acceptable to admit that you love work, then you'd probably admit that you love work. Okay, well, I love work, unlike all you peasants, and the closest minigame to a real job, besides that awful goat herding, is Wind Waker's mail sorting. I don't care that most people hate it. I love it. Love, love, love. It's short, it's sweet, it's free to play, it's addictive, and it pays the bills. It also feels more like a traditional minigame than most of the other entries on this list. Of course, it probably helps that I'm really good at it, or at least better than this slowpoke. How do you even have this job, dude?
Welcome to the interview. Tell me about yourself.
Yeah, man. I don't wear shirts, I'm a slow worker, I can't read, and I have 2 nipples.
Congratulations, you're hired.
In second place is not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6. Okay, you get the point. But an entire genre of minigames. The Zelda series has dozens of amazing target shooting type minigames, and if I had included them in their own separate entries, they would have consumed nearly the entire list. As such, I've bundled them together at number 2. Granted, they're not all amazing. A lot of people hate Skyward Sword's Pumpkin Pull, the horseback archery in Breath of the Wild is ridiculous, and Bombshoe Bowling, if you can even count it in this category, is pretty miserable. But for the most part, the various shooting galleries, horseback challenges, and cannon-based games are pretty great, not to mention a staple of the Zelda series and an absolute classic. Now, of course, I'm not going to rank all the target shooting minigames, but if I did, I'd definitely put Cannon Shoot from Wind Waker towards the top, and wanted to give it a brief shout out here. Instead of fast and frantic action, it focuses on calculated, finite cannon shots across the water to barrels far off. And of course, it's once again run by the hilarious Salvatore. I love to watch him sleep. No, really, it's amazing. He literally and metaphorically sleeps standing up, pretending to be someone he's not and unable to go home from work. Whoa, deep. Also, how can he be at 2 places at the same time?
Bam! Magic!
I'd like to give one additional shout out to another favorite of mine, the Romani Ranch alien invasion from Majora's Mask. In this game, Link must defend the ranch from invading aliens by using his bow and trusty steed. It's all part of a charming side story, and I always find myself enjoying the atmosphere of this target shooting objective, even if it's not necessarily considered a minigame.
Oh, leave me alone!
And finally, we've hit my number 1 favorite Zelda minigame of all time. No going back, Joe Pro. I do expect my number 1 selection to be divisive as usual. Seems I'm really good at that, but I truly feel that it is the best minigame in the series, and what's more, my love for it actually inspired the creation of this very video. Without further ado, I present the A Link Between Worlds minigame, Cuckoo Ranch. Also, sorry if I pronounce cuckoo wrong, bad habit. I wouldn't normally consider myself cuckoo about cuckoos, but I guess I really do enjoy most of the cuckoo-based minigames. Well, besides that dumb one Malin's dad tosses together in Ocarina of Time. You know, instead of working and providing for his daughter? But that's another video. Cuckoo Ranch gets plenty of hate because of its severe difficulty, specifically because after beating the first few modes, the endless option becomes available. This mode forces the players to avoid hundreds of cuckoos and survive for 999 seconds in order to make a giant cuckoo appear outside the ranch and in the ending cutscenes. I can fully understand the reservations players have formed against this minigame because A Link Between Worlds is my favorite Zelda game, and I've 100%ed it many times, with the exception of achieving the giant cuckoo. It's definitely a frustration that I can't get it, but I don't let it bother me too much. It's still my favorite minigame, and for absolutely good reasons. First off, it shares the same great music with other minigames from A Link Between Worlds. It also controls quite magnificently compared to many other entries on this list. It's very challenging and addictive, sometimes overly so. In fact, every time I find myself on a road trip, since I clearly can't drive, I typically spend a lot of time attempting those darn 999 seconds. And a testament to how tough it is, my record is only 290. Above all though, my primary reason for placing Cuckoo Ranch in the number 1 spot is that it really does feel like a proper minigame, as if it belongs among the best of the Mario Party minigames. Maybe some of you don't want that sort of thing in Zelda and prefer the more unique, subtle, laid-back minigames, and there's nothing wrong with that. Those are great too, but for me, I just can't get enough of Cuckoo Ranch. Curse you, ranch lady! Well, now you know my list. At least you guys can go home happy and sleep tight now. Lucky you. Meanwhile, I'm still stuck as a fire-spitting monster. Don't get me wrong, I love being a psychopathic murderer and all, but YouTube already has enough of those. Alright, well, I'll read this blasted charm one last time, and then I'm done. Bokoblin, Moblin, Choo-Choo, and Keese, a flock of cuckoos OGs, but a damage received will make a Lego relieved, so winning's not always the ultimate key. That was a kind of... oh, I get it now. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe and return in the future, and let me know what your favorite Zelda minigame is in the comments. See you guys next time.